In Washington's Griffith Stadium, the Redskins have their tomahawks sharpened for the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are in second place in the Eastern Conference, but that doesn't scare the Skins. They're ready to roll after a big win over the world champion Baltimore Colts. But the Redskins aren't prepared for the likes of Bobby Mitchell. On their second play from scrimmage, the Browns send him around right end. Mitchell keeps his feet as Richie McCabe dives at him. Gets a block from Ray Renfro and sprints 90 yards as the Browns take a 7-0 lead on the season's longest run from scrimmage. Mitchell is at it again the next time Cleveland gets the ball. He tries left end this time and weaves his way for 25 yards behind Gene Hickerson's scrambling block. Milt Plum puts the Browns in the air with a pass down the middle. Ray Renfro's behind his man and skips over the goal line to boost Cleveland into a 14-0 advantage. The Skins have a rugged runner of their own in fullback Johnny Olszewski. Johnny O finds daylight in the middle of the Browns line and leads the Cleveland defenders a Murray chase on a 65-yard rush to the Brown 15. Dick James slants into the end zone for the first Redskin score, and it's a 14-7 game going into the second quarter. Johnny Olszewski opens the second period by breaking away from two tacklers at the line of scrimmage and tearing to a 37-yard gain. Dick James takes a turn, and the left side of the Redskin line makes room for him to roam on a 22-yard carry that winds up deep in Cleveland territory. Johnny O, who broke a Redskin single-game rushing record with 190 yards, rockets 19 of those yards for the touchdown. The Redskins have rallied to tie it up at the half, 14-14. Milt Plum is plaguing the Redskins in the third quarter. He connects with Ray Renfro for a Cleveland first down. The Skins won't yield any more of their reservation, but automatic Lou Groza rings up 3 points with a 45-yard field goal to break the tie as the Browns lead 17-14. Eddie LeBaron is passing for the Redskins as the Browns apply the pressure. Eddie's pass is picked off by Galen Fitz, who returns to their 16. With Jim Ray Smith leading the way, Bobby Mitchell slashes the final 5 yards for the Cleveland tally. Bobby's second TD gives the Browns a 24-14 edge, but the Redskins narrow that to 24-17 with a Sam Baker field goal. The Browns have the ball in the last quarter, and here goes Bobby Mitchell. Dick Haley finally runs him out of bounds after 40 yards. Big Jim Brown, the league's leading ground gainer, finally gets into the act, and the slow motion camera shows him at his bulldozing best as he plows for 9 yards. All the honors belong to Bobby Mitchell today. He scampers through the Skins to his third touchdown to wrap up the Cleveland victory, 31-17. Mitchell's net yardage of 232 yards is just 5 yards short of the league record set by teammate Jim Brown, and it helps Cleveland climb into a first-place Eastern Conference tie with New York. With 52,000 Motor City fans on hand, the Detroit Lions reach a now-or-never point as they take on the touring Los Angeles Rams. The Lions are 1-5-1, and the Rams are 2-5. The Detroiters could climb out of the Western Conference cellar with a victory. With Earl Morrall at quarterback, the Lions claw the Rams in the first quarter. Morrall finds Dave Middleton wide open at midfield and drops a pass in his hand. Middleton runs away from the Rams for a 79-yard touchdown as Detroit takes the upper hand early with a 7-0 lead. The Lions are inside the Los Angeles city limits again in the second quarter. John Henry Johnson sweeps to the Ram 33. Jim Martin gets the call on fourth down and delivers a 41-yard field goal. The Lion lead lengthens to 10-0 over Los Angeles. Frank Ryan is quarterbacking the Rams as they move from the kickoff. Del Schaffner makes the catch with Yale Larry on his back, and it's a 60-yard gain to put Los Angeles on the Detroit 14. A Detroit penalty makes it goal to go. Ollie Matson takes a quick pitch out and outlegs the Lions for the touchdown. Detroit's lead is cut to 10-7. With about a minute left in the half, Billy Wade is piloting the Ram attack. He pitches a screen pass to Matson, and the Rams are close. Lou Michaels ties up the game with his toe with 50 seconds left in the second quarter. His 28-yard field goal makes it 10-10. Earl Morrow comes back and hands to flanker Terry Barr on a reverse. Barr fakes a pass, but keeps and carries to a first down on the Ram 37. There are 15 seconds left as Morrow skips back and rifles over the middle to Jim Gibbons. Gibbons battles for a 20-yard gain. Jim Martin beats the gun with a 25-yard field goal, and the Lions leave the field at halftime with a 13-10 lead over the Los Angeles Rams. Midway in the third period, the Lions are laying into the Rams again. Earl Morrow takes aim and pitches to Terry Barr. Barr barrels to an apparent touchdown, but the officials have detected a violation by Detroit, and they're penalized to their 26. The Lions are trying again as a fumble recovery sets them up on the Ram 23. Morrow passes to Jim Gibbons at the 10. Gibbons fumbles, but Hopalong Cassidy ropes it in to save the day for Detroit. Morrow steps back again and zeroes in on John Henry Johnson. Johnson sidesteps the Rams to roar across the goal line as Detroit closes out the third quarter with a 20-10 lead over Los Angeles. Frank Ryan tries to get a threat going for Los Angeles in the final period as he passes to John Arnett. Jim Steffen knocks the ball loose, and Gary Lowe picks it up to take over for Detroit on the Ram 36. Jerry Perry makes the recovery pay off with a 15-yard field goal, and the Lions have a comfortable last period edge of 23-10. The Rams are down but still able to scare the Lions. Frank Ryan hurls a cross-country pass with 2 minutes left in the game. Del Schaffner makes the catch and pulls away from his defenders for a 67-yard tally. But it's too late to overtake Detroit. The Lions win 23-17 to move up to 5th place in the Western Conference by scoring their second victory over the Los Angeles Rams. The New York Giants, leading the Eastern Conference by 1 game, take on the Pittsburgh Steelers before more than 66,000 at Yankee Stadium. The Giants are trying to maintain their lead over the Browns. After a scoreless first quarter, the hometown Giants have something brewing to open the second period. Mel Triplett hustles for 13 yards. With Charlie Connerly and George Shaw both sidelined with injuries, Don Heinrich is a quarterback for the Giants. Frank Gifford takes Heinrich's pass for 11 yards. Bill King grinds out a 7-yard gain, and the Giants are perched on the Steeler 14. On the drive stalls, dependable Pat Summerall boots a 21-yard field goal to give the Giants a 3-0 lead. The men from the Steel City try to retaliate, but Bobby Lane's pass is picked off by the Giants' Harlan Safari. Harlan returns 22 yards to set the Giants up on the Steeler 25. The talented toe of Pat Summerall gets the call again, and Pat's perfect placement from the 27 makes it a 6-0 ball game. Pittsburgh is down but far from out. Bobby Lane fades and looks for receivers. Finding no one in the open lane, legs the pigskin for 21 yards. Lane then connects with Jimmy Orr to put the ball on the Giant 30. Lane keeps throwing, and the Steelers move nearer the Giant goal line. Tom Barnett makes the catch on the New York 9. Lane completes his 4th pass of the drive as he hits Jimmy Orr in the end zone. The first touchdown of the game gives Pittsburgh a 7-6 lead at halftime. The Pittsburghers come back for more early in the 3rd period. Tom Barnett battles his way for 17 yards. From there, Tom Tracy takes a handoff and starts to the right. Finding no running room, Tracy gives it back to Lane, and Bobby blitzes the Giants for 21 yards. Lane is passing for points, but Lyndon Crow picks off the aerial for the Giants to kill the threat. Near the end of the quarter, the Giants are rolling. Don Heinrich hoists a strike down the field that Bob Schnelker spears. Schnelker shuffles to the Steeler 19 before being knocked out of bounds. For the 3rd time in the game, Pat Summerall kicks a 3-pointer to give the Giants a 9-7 lead. With less than a minute and a half remaining in the game, Steeler Bobby Lane lets fly with a long pass. Tom Tracy has it at the Giant 15, and Tom travels all the way to complete a 45-yard touchdown play that defeats the Giants 14-9. The loss drops the New Yorkers into a tie with Cleveland for the Eastern Conference lead. The Philadelphia Eagles, who have yet to lose a home game in 1959, try to make it 2 in a row over the Chicago Cardinals as they strive to stay close to the leaders in the Eastern Conference. The Cards lost a cliffhanger to the Eagles in Minneapolis, and they want this one badly. The Cardinals stun the Franklin Field crowd with their razzle-dazzle style of play. Bobby Conrad takes a handoff and laterals all the way across the field to quarterback King Hill, who hustles down the sideline to the Eagle 32. Hill steps back and hurls a perfect strike to Ken Hall, who leaves a disgusted Jimmy Carr sprawled on the goal line as he scores for the Cardinals. Chicago leads Philadelphia 7-0 after 1 period. A tricky Cardinal maneuver gets them in trouble in the 2nd quarter. Woodley Lewis takes a short pass and tries to lateral to John Crow, but Tommy Brookshire gets into the act and grabs the ball for the Eagles. Norm Van Brocklin calls the right play on his first try. Pete Retzlaff is all by himself, and Van Brocklin hits him for the score. It's a tie game as the Eagles pull even at 7-7. Moments later, the Eagles are back to their own 9 as Van Brocklin punts from the end zone. It's blocked by Leo Sugar. Mal Hammock picks up the free ball and bolts 17 yards for a quick Card counter. Now Chicago leads again, 14-7. The Philadelphians move to close the gap again with Van Brocklin rolling out and passing to Tommy McDonald for a 14-yard gain. Van Brocklin hands to Clarence Peaks, and the big fullback breaks into the Cardinal secondary. Peaks fumbles, but Jerry Hoot saves the day with a clutch recovery for an Eagle first down. Van Brocklin steps back and shoots a quick little pass to Billy Barnes. Barnes has his running shoes on today. He takes off at top speed and goes all the way for the 47-yard touchdown that earns the Eagles a 14-14 tie at halftime. In the 3rd quarter, with the Cards in possession, Conrad takes the ball on a crossbuck, fumbles, and Joe Robb recovers for the Eagles on the Cardinal 41. Van Brocklin is set to pass for Philadelphia. 3 Cards converge on Pete Retzlaff, but he makes the catch for a 13-yard gain. On 4th down, Paige Cothran puts the Eagles into the lead for the first time in the game with his 21-yard field goal. It's 17-14. Philadelphia tries for more as the 3rd period runs out. Van Brocklin aims for Tommy McDonald, but Night Train Lane hijacks the pass and takes off nonstop for the other end of the field until Clarence Peaks derails him after a 69-yard return. Bobby Conrad opens the last quarter by converting Lane's interception into 3 points with a 32-yard field goal that ties up the game again at 17-17. The Eagles set out to break up the deadlock with Van Brocklin hurling for distance. Pete Retzlaff makes a nice catch, although closely guarded by Jimmy Hill. It's a 45-yard gain, and the Eagles are on the Cardinal 17. The handoff is to Peaks, and Peaks powers over the middle to battle to the 3-yard line. Peaks goes up and over the stacked-up Cards with a touchdown that puts the Philadelphians on top to stay. The Eagles add a field goal in the final few minutes to conquer the Cardinals 27-17 as they take a firm grip on third place in the East, just one game off the pace set by the Giants and the Browns. It's do or die for the Baltimore Colts as they travel to Milwaukee to meet the Green Bay Packers. The Colts must win this one to stay close to the pace in the Western Conference race. The Packers are trying to regain their winning ways. Early in the game, Bart Starr throws a flare pass to Paul Hornung. The ball bounces free, and Big Daddy Lipscomb picks it off. Big Daddy gets his 290 pounds rolling on an earth-shaking run down the sidelines for 45 yards until Starr can knock the Baltimore Behemoth out of bounds. The Colts attempt a bit of trickery as Ray Brown passes on a fake field goal, but Emlyn Tunnell breaks up the effort. The Packers bounce back as Bart Starr breaks into the Colts secondary. Bart's 38-yard run carries to the Colts 17. The Colts contain Green Bay, so Paul Hornung boots a perfect 23-yard placement that makes it Green Bay 3, Colts nothing. Near the end of the first quarter, Unitas hits Berry for a first down on the Packer 26. Lenny Moore takes a handoff from Unitas. The Colt linemen clear the way, and Lenny streaks his way through Green Bay to go 26 yards for a touchdown. The Colts are ahead after the first quarter, 7-3. The Colts start another drive as Unitas fades behind perfect cup blocking. Johnny fires out to the right flat to Lenny Moore. Moore keeps his balance and almost gets away as he carries to the Packer 42. Unitas gets plenty of time again as he fakes once, then hits Amici swinging around the end. The big horse rolls for 30 before being tripped up by Hank Greminger. Johnny Unitas keeps his record going as he hits Raymond Berry in the end zone for a touchdown. Unitas has now thrown for a score in 33 consecutive ball games, and the Colts lead 14-3. The Colts want more as Unitas fakes a draw, then hits Moore on the flare pass. The slippery Colts slides by the Packers behind good downfield blocking to set up another Colts score. Unitas drops back and looks as Raymond Berry goes down and out. Johnny hangs it up there, and Berry pulls it down for another Colt tally. The Colts are way out in front after 2 quarters, 21-3. In the third period, Packer back Jim Taylor takes a pitch out and follows his guard, Jerry Kramer, around right end. Taylor turns the corner and sprints to the 4-yard line. Jim Taylor finishes the job as he slips off and goes in for Green Bay. The Packers now trail 21-10. Bart Starr is doing more damage to the Colts. He drops back and hits Taylor over the middle. Big Jim, a 210-pounder from LSU, knows the way as he barrels into the end zone. Packer fans go wild as their boys are close at 21-17. The Packers have more in store for Baltimore. Paul Hornung is doing the ball carrying, and what a job Paul does. Hornung goes 63 yards before Andy Nelson can finally catch up. Hornung then tries a 22-yard placement, but it's off the mark, and the Colts still lead 21-17. Unitas knows he's not safe with this short lead. He hits Jim Muchler on the dead run. The rugged Colt wingman races to complete a 30-yard gain as the third quarter ends. In the fourth quarter, Unitas dodges Henry Jordan and again fires to Muchler. Jim won't stop till he's in the end zone, and the Colts increase their lead to 28-17. Bart Starr keeps his Packers on the track as he drops back to pass. Starr can't find a receiver, so he keeps himself on a nifty run to the Colt 11. Jim Taylor finishes up the scoring as he bolts over from 3 yards out. The Baltimore Colts take an exciting 28-24 decision to move within 1 game of first place and stay in contention in the hot Western Conference race. The Chicago Bears, fighting for survival in the Western Conference race, warm up to face the leaders, once defeated San Francisco in Snowbank Wrigley Field. 44,000 are rooting for the Bears to reverse an earlier defeat by the 49ers and even their season record at 4 wins and 4 losses. The Bears win the toss and elect to receive. Tommy Davis kicks off for San Francisco. Johnny Morris takes the ball over his shoulder in the end zone and lights out for the Prospector claim. Johnny races to the 49er 48 before they can pull him down. Ed Brown steers the Bears downfield. He passes to Harlan Hill at the sideline, and it's a first down on the San Francisco 22. Rick Caceres makes his own opening as he bulldozes for 6 yards to park the pigskin on the 49er 12. Caceres cracks across for the touchdown. The Chicago team has moved right from the opening kickoff to take a 7-0 lead over the 49ers. It's still 7-0 in the second quarter as John Brody passes for San Francisco. Eric Barnes leaps to intercept his pass and return upfield. But a clipping penalty brings the ball back to the 15. The Bears have the ball and give it to Willie Gallimore. Willie gets a good block at the corner and turns on the speed. He gets 36 yards before Eddie Dove can collar him at the 49er 49. Ed Brown comes back as if to pass, but he has no intention of throwing that ball. Ed rolls out to the left and sprints straight ahead for 38 yards. Eddie Dove saves a touchdown by nailing him from behind with a diving tackle. It's goal to go for the Bears. Watch in slow motion as the 49ers put on a great goal line stand. They rise up to stop Rick Caceres with inches to spare, and the ball goes over on down. The Prospectors move into Bear country. They're on the 25 as J.D. Smith rips through the Chicago tacklers on a rough trip to the end zone. But a clipping infraction sets them back to the 24, and the Prospectors must try again. The Bear defense analyzes this 49er play perfectly, and Hugh McElhenney meets a reception committee at left end. Bill George applies an unfriendly bear hug, and Hugh is down for an 11-yard loss. 49ers call on their rookie kicker, Tommy Davis. Tommy's true from the 42 as the Prospectors close out the first half scoring to trail the Bears 7-3. In the third quarter, the Bears boost their lead on one big play. Ed Brown tosses a screen pass to Johnny Morris, and Johnny's on his way. A little scat back from Santa Barbara State scampers through the Prospectors for a 51-yard touchdown. Chicago now leads San Francisco 14-3. The 49ers know they have to pull this one out of the fire if they want to hold on to their 2-game lead in the conference. Brody throws a long pass, and it looks as if Charlie Sumner is intercepted until R.C. Owens rips the ball away from him to make it a 34-yard completion. Brody opens the final period by trying to pass the rest of the way, but Richie Pettibon cuts in front of R.C. Owens to intercept and turn in a dandy dash to his own 19. That kills the final 49er threat as Chicago wins 14-3. 5 interceptions help the Bears remain in contention in the West while cutting the 49ers lead to 1 game over Baltimore.